stay. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I'm going to have to shorten that clip by about 3 seconds. It's too much of a... The ending is... I was letting the guitar strum go through, but I think I had headphones on, and I doubt that you can hear it. But there's also a part in there at the end where she goes, so, and I kind of kept that in too, because, you know, little deep track. Easter eggs is what we call them. Little Easter eggs in it. Yeah, do you need some water? Come here. Come here. This is Sebastian. Hey, Sebastian. Story about Sebastian here. And he's a good looking kitty. But don't let it fool you. Let him know. I'm a bully. I'm a bully. Meow. Yes, he's a bully. But my daughter's, our oldest daughter's cat had kittens, and I was looking for a kitten, and so I went over and I picked Ronan. You see him quite often. He's one that sits on the back of the chair and likes to rub up against my face. And but the grandkids were like, "Well, you need to take this one too. You need to take this one too, because we want to see him again. We want to be able to spend time with him." I'm like, "Okay, I might take him, but the deal is you got to come over and spend time with." Next time they came over, they're like, "What's his name again?" I'm like, "You're kidding me." Because they named him Sebastian. They're like, "And you got to keep his name." So I kept it. They don't even remember their name. So I've been going live an awfully lot today, so I'm not anticipating much of anybody on this one. And it's just when I'm in this kind of mood and I'm able to convey what I think I can, I try and take advantage of it. So that's all I'm trying to do. It adds to the... How many videos am I at? It says I'm at 2.4K, but that doesn't give you... And every now and again, my subscribers go down. I'm at 263. I was at 400 something. Never broke the 500 on that. Maybe one day. My YouTube channel will catch on. But yeah, I have over 2,000, well, 2,400 videos apparently. Which makes sense. I've been doing this a long time. Well, probably depends on what you consider a long time to be. All right, let's go and get started. I'm not going to make this one too long. It's kind of straightforward. Of course, I say that and it'll be, 3 people show up and it'll be 45 minutes long. So who knows, really? Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. Yeah. My grandmother named me. She had a crush on Dion. I always said Bonaducci, but it's not Bonaducci. It's Dion DiMucci. Dion DiMucci. He was the lead singer of Dion and the Belmonts. He gave us such hits as The Wanderer and Runaround Sue. He is still married to Runaround Sue. So she must not have been running around too much, because the song went, "Keep away from a runaround Sue, hey, hey, I'm a lady, hey, I'm a lady. Aww. All right. While the phrase forgive and forget is often used, many experts argue, yeah, screw the experts. You don't need an expert for this, something like this, guy. Yay, experts. I mean, did the experts go through it? All right. I'm going to give you a quick answer. No. The answer is no. I can forgive. Absolutely, I can. But I will not forget. I don't even try. Okay. Because it applies to what might be going on. If I forgive and then forget, then that's going to allow you to do it again. And that's not going to be okay with me. It's not. Now you're going to make human mistakes, things like that. Maybe some things I will forget. I might. But that's only because I destroyed my brain with alcohol. All right. It is often used. Many experts argue that while you can forgive someone for a wrongdoing, you don't necessarily need to forget it. Meaning, you can choose to let go of resentment while still remembering the event and learning from it to protect yourself in the future. Okay. Now, since we are now responsible for our triggers, what is this going to lead to? Well, this is going to lead to strong boundaries. Okay. Forgiving but not forgetting leads to strong boundaries. Right? Let's say somebody borrowed $100 from me and then they just kind of refused to pay it back. They said sorry they didn't pay it back. Do you think I'm going to give them any more money? Probably not. Probably not in that case. So, all right. So still remembering the event and learning from it to protect yourself from the future. Okay. Now, we can't let this get to a point where we're going to determine what we're going to do based on their past actions. People can change. Surely they can. Okay. But when I forgive and don't forget and I see old behavior, now I can bring that up, right? Now I can bring that up. Hey, this is kind of old behavior for you that we saw before. You're going through it again. Is that something you really want? Because we humans are fallible, right? All right. Here's some key points about forgiveness. Okay? Forgiving and forgetting, or don't. Forgiveness is a choice. It's a choice, man. It means releasing anger and resentment towards someone who has hurt you, allowing you to move forward emotionally. And that's really the key of forgiving. Okay. That's the key of it, is the resentment that it holds. That anger can bind us to something. So forgetting isn't always possible. There are some things that have happened to me I'd love to forget, but it isn't going to happen. So I need to be able to settle that, don't I? Or otherwise, I'm going to be the one that needs to be forgiven, because I will act out on things like that, right? Memories, especially those associated with significant pain, can be difficult to erase completely. I know I joke around that, I've lost part of my brain, and I don't know if I actually have or not. That's the only thing that makes sense. But this mind is a steel trap, and if you done me wrong, I ain't forgetting. I'm not going to forget that. Hey, Amber, it's good to see you. Sup, girl? Right? Now, maybe we have a memory that is, triggering our trauma. In that case, it's going to be a little different. When it came to that, for me, EMDR worked really, really well. And there again, there's a lot of things that I've done where in the beginning it felt really, really silly. Even at the end of it, it felt silly, but it worked. It worked. Okay. Now I didn't forget the situation, but it didn't feel like I was going through it at that moment again and again and again and again. Right. It's kind of like when water hits rock. Eventually it's going to make a curve in there. It's going to start to go through it, is it not? Same kind of thing. Benefits of remembering. Sometimes remembering past hurts can help you set boundaries and protect yourself from future harm. Yeah. This leads to strong boundaries, which we do need. And why are we going to need strong boundaries? Why are we going to need to go through this and do this? Because we're going to be working with other people and they're going to say something that reminds us of something that we went through. And if we start to sympathize, then we're kind of on the wrong thing. Well, I'm not going to be able to empathize until I get these strong boundaries, until I can learn how to forgive but not forget. Right? Now, some people choose to forget because they totally want to move on. And that's what it say. Well, it says forgiveness is a choice, and it is your choice. Right? You know, there, you know, I give an example of that. There's things my wife does where I don't tack it up to things. She's my wife, right? But if somebody, you know, like intentionally hurt me or went out of their way to hurt me, man, it's gonna be a while. I'll, it's gonna be a minute before number one I can forgive my. It's not always possible for me to forgive right away. Sometimes I have to pray for a couple weeks, um, and work and give it a little bit more effort than some other things, right? But having those boundaries, what happens is, um, with all the stuff that I do, people don't really fuck with me. They don't. I have a lot of courage. I've worked on myself intensely, and I have extremely strong boundaries. And you'll know if you reach my boundaries because I'll tell you. I have no, I have no qualms letting people know. I just, I don't. So, but what does this help us do? Well, it helps us focus on healing. Okay, it's really the forgiveness that we're going after. It is, and we're going to have to learn how to forgive sometimes in the moment because we may need to move on, right? Now, once we can get past forgiveness, then we can move on to justice. But that forgiveness has to come first. I'm not going to dig more into the forgiveness part where it happens, but I will say this, that you've got to be able to forgive yourself first. But do not forget what you did. If I forgot that I was an alcoholic and did all these things, what would happen? I'd go right back to doing it again. I go right back to it. Right? Yeah. So forgiveness is really a means to getting to a point where you have strong boundaries, where you understand your innards, man, and your emotions and why you're having those emotions. And that takes some time, it takes some work, but it is very much achievable. But it's going to need to take a rigorous honesty. It will. Is it okay to forgive someone but not forget? Well, yes, it's okay. Yes is the first answer. Right. Think about it this way. You ever been in trouble with the law? Well, if you went back a second time for the same thing, isn't that going to be used against you? Now they forgave you. Okay. And maybe the forgiveness was some community service work or something. Okay. So for me, I feel like if I forget, then I'm really abusing myself. I'm saying it's okay to abuse me. And I'm not going to go for something like that. Right. Oh, they're back. It's the same picture. Okay. So I'm going to get back on. Right. Oh, I will find you, motherfucker. Don't you worry about it. Here we go. Let me get a couple of things. He wasn't there. Yep, maybe I just need to make them private. Here we go, Owen. Here we go, Owen Charles. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. All right. Do, where are you? Okay, never mind. All right. So Charles Owen. Okay. And I don't know what these people or why they want to continuously come on, but this person right here who keeps doing this, they're trying to come after me. I'm gonna keep reporting you, and then you'll turn around one day. But what's worse is this: God has my back, and if you continue to fuck with me, bad things will happen to you. Okay. So I'm going to go back on Telegram. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get your spores thing that you're listed on Telegram, and I'm going to post it to everybody, and I'm going to make them bug you. I'm going to have them come after you. And then you can see how it feels when other people try and interfere with what you are doing when you're trying to help somebody else, man. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this for you. We're going to go ahead and ban you. You've been banned, except now I can't take it down. There we go, hide. All right. All right. But then it stays up here. That kind of pisses me off. So, with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it private. I'm going to make it private. So, and they laughed. See, they laughed. Oh, I'm going to run away like a little bitch because I want to show my shoes. All right. I think that's going to be it for now. I think that's good. You know, let's kind of review that. We can forgive, and if you choose to forget, you can forget. Okay, but what is the saying? The saying is, first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. And that is me taking responsibility for not allowing you to do that again. All right. So maybe tomorrow, and I will go ahead and write this down right now. Where's my, where are they? Probably in the other room. Having strong boundaries is probably what we'll do. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I love you. Peace out. And fuck Owen Charles.